we're good
All
to
right,
go.
so welcome to this week's edition of Murphy's Market Minute. It is January 24th, Friday, 5 o'clock. So we're getting to it a little bit late. And this is the first one that we've done this year. You're going to notice a few things that are different, and hopefully there'll be a progression as we go throughout the year. The biggest thing you'll notice that's different is Nathaniel Vossman. Now, Nathaniel actually worked here years ago, right?
Yes, 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
Yep.
Man, time flies.
It sure does.
And what were you doing while you worked here?
So I was working alongside you and Kelly. So Kelly was working out of the office, CPA. So if you were in the office, you probably saw me behind the front desk. So I was, offering people sodas, but also helping out with people. Like, for example, if Kelly had some coming in with the taxes, I'd help kind of file some of that paperwork for him.
Yeah. We tried putting a wig and a skirt on you, but
I
gruff.
probably would have been better off as a hot blonde, but yeah, a little too big for that. But now Elliot's taken me back on as
and what's transpired since then?
well, quite a bit's transpired. So
I mean, 4 years is a lot can happen in 4 years, right?
this is true. So when I was working for Elliot previously, I met a girl, and
Story as old as time.
I started dating her 4 years ago, so March of 21. When we first started dating her, she said one thing. She's like, I'm looking to move after I graduate from school. I was like, okay, where do you want to move? And she said, LA. It's not exactly where I expected to be moving to, but I said, I'm down. And so within a couple months of dating her, I found myself looking for jobs, found a job out there. And within 3 months of dating her, we were moving out to California together.
And then how long after that before you tied the knot?
Well, in September of 2023,
All right.
we got engaged. So we got engaged when we were out on vacation in Hawaii, and it was pretty beautiful. And our wedding was this past year, May of 24.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
So it's been an eventful 4 years for you.
Yeah, it's been good.
And we're actually really glad to have him back. And following in the tradition of male receptionists, we also, anybody that comes into the office, you'll see another guy, my son, Aiden. He's 18. He came on board at the beginning of the year as well. And so we're starting him off, getting to learn phone skills and all the rest of that. And he's actually going to be supporting Abby in a lot of the work that she does and supporting Nathaniel and what he's doing.
Yep. Yeah, smart guy. And he's kind of integral for keeping the whole company together.
Yeah.
Like he kind of plays a role in everything.
Yeah, like a utility player.
Exactly.
So, so today, what I want to talk about with Murphy's Market Minute today is something that recently hit the news. And it was a story about Warren Buffett having accumulated $320 billion in cash. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because one of the most common questions that we receive is people will read something or they'll hear something from their friends, and their friend will tell them, I invested in this, or I did this, or I did that, or here, look at Warren Buffett. He's got all this cash. And then people think that they should follow in suit, right? Yeah. Now, the first time I was actually made aware of the amount of cash Warren Buffett was accumulating was years ago when he hit $100 billion. And it was actually a client that brought it to my attention. And Warren Buffett's the world's greatest investor, right? So if Warren Buffett is accumulating cash, what that would signal that we should all be accumulating cash in some people's minds, right? Yes, and they wanted to know, what does Warren Buffett know that we don't? And if you're accumulating cash and it's not invested in the market, you would think that's because something bad's going to happen to the market, right? Well, between that time and now, the only thing that's happened bad in the market lasted for 36 days. That was March of 2020. That was COVID. Since that point in time, while Warren Buffett has gone from $100 billion in cash to $320 billion, I think if you had that in the S&P 500, you would have gained 120 to 140% on your money.
Yeah, a ton of money.
Ton of money. Okay. So that $300 billion could have been $600, $700, $800 billion, and it's not. Okay. Now, that's fine if you don't need gains. But now, stack on top of that the inflation that's occurred over that same period of time, and that $320 billion is really worth more like $200 or $220.
Yeah.
So not only did the guy lose $100 million in inflationary costs, he missed out on $400 billion in gains. All right. Now, I'm not saying he's not still the world's greatest investor. I'm just saying that if I was managing a portfolio and did that, that's a lot of negative stuff stacking up on me.
Definitely.
Now, again, though, we have no idea what his goal is. We don't know what the purpose of him accumulating that cash is, right? And so it's the same thing when we talk to our friends or our family about what their investments are. Well, first off, usually you're only going to hear about the wins, just like gambling, right? Nobody ever comes out of a casino and calls all their friends, tell them how much money they lost, right? You just get to hear about how much money they made, the rare times they make it.
That sounds like a damn good time.
right. And we hear that, we're going to get that same kind of information from our friends and family about investments, right? And then when we're reading about people like Warren Buffett or any of these major power players, you don't know what their purpose is. You don't know what their goals are. You don't know what they're trying to accomplish, right? And so just to wrap up the Warren Buffett thing, he just recently dropped a little over $500 million into 3 stocks. Sirius XM is one of them. VersaSign is one of them. And Occidental Petroleum is one of them, okay? So again, somebody could see that Warren Buffett is putting $500 million into these 3 companies, and they might want to add them to their portfolio. And maybe he does know something, I don't know, right? But let's just say Donald Trump opens up oil in a way that had not been in the last 4 years. Well, usually, if you increase quantity, you decrease value. So I'm not sure what the play is there. You look at Sirius XM, I don't know how many people are paying for Sirius XM in their car when they can just stream their Apple Music, YouTube Music, or Spotify or Pandora accounts. Now, Sirius XM also owns Pandora. But again, if you talk to, just poll your kids and grandkids and find out who's listening to Pandora.
They don't know what the hell it is.
No.
Who or what the hell it is.
There's anybody under 30 doesn't know what Pandora is. Yeah. All right. Now I use Pandora because I've been using it forever.
And you're old.
And I'm old. No, for real. No, that's who uses Pandora. Right? Pandora is kind of like the Facebook of social media. It's kind of turned into a place for old people like me and older, to yell at people about political views. All the young people, that's a joke, everybody. All the young people, they're all on like, I don't know what, TikTok, Snapchat, probably stuff I haven't even heard of yet.
Probably. Even myself.
Yeah. So anyways, that's all. I just really wanted to stress like how important it is to have your own plan, understand your own goals, make sure that your investments are aligned with your personal goals, with your time horizon, with your risk tolerance levels. Not anybody else's, no matter how good of a reputation they have at investing. So now, just to summarize everything else, the market obviously is going up. Market likes Trump. We've seen it his last go around. It's great. That's one of the nice things about Trump is we've been there, done it. So it's hard to imagine some kind of alternative outcome, especially with where everything is set currently, kind of primed to go up. People are worried about the tariffs that he's wanting to do. And we're going to have a whole other podcast, by the way. It was something I didn't mention. Murphy's Market Minute is going to be a lot shorter. It's just going to be like this 5-minute little thing that we send out to kind of, and I know I'm going way over that today. But then we're going to have like a whole nother hour or 2 hours every week.
Yeah, much more long form podcast.
Yeah. And we're going to get into Trump's tariffs. We're going to get into things going on socioeconomically around the globe that might impact the stock market and the economy. I recently attended a economic forum and gained a massive amount of data out of that. We're going to kind of break all that down, all with the intent of helping people see and understand what is coming in the future in regards to their retirement plan and their portfolio. So
I think it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah. And Nathaniel's doing a great job of like kind of rough scripting things out. And we're going to try and make this more conversational instead of me just doing an hour-long monologue.
Yeah. Getting a little bit of a script, asking questions, being able to keep them on guardrails.
Anybody that's ever talked to me knows that's impossible.
Yeah.
But
we'll keep them on track.
Yeah. All right. And obviously, we're not trying to be political about anything. But it's pretty impossible to talk about Trump's first 100 days or anything Trump's doing with tariffs or any of that kind of stuff without there being some kind of political element to it. Everybody knows I'm a right-wing extremist, but I try to keep that in check when it comes to looking at the economy and the stock market.
And you have to take an objective point of view. Like if you're trying to give advice, because what kind of advisor are you if you're so one-sided? You're going to be wrong half the time.
Oh, yeah, at least, right? Yeah, and I always say that the more extreme somebody's personality is, the more easily manipulated they are.
Yeah.
Right? And I try very hard, especially with managing assets and building retirement plans, to kind of put all that stuff to the side. So hopefully that'll come through in these podcasts that we do as well. So, all right. Well, anyways, it's Friday. It's after 5. We already went way over 5 minutes. But I hope you guys like the increased camera angles, audio.
A little better audio.
Yeah. Nathaniel's bringing us into the whatever century we're in right now. The modern
21st,
world.
Yeah, that.
The modern world.
So,
we're coming into the modern world with our podcast.
Something that we're going to keep improving upon, the video, audio, all the above, and pushing out some pretty good content.
Yep. So thank you very much, Nathaniel. And Aiden's behind the camera, so you won't see him. But till next week, this is Elliot.
This is Nathaniel.
Signing off. Take care, guys.